Hey everybody, welcome back. I had to redo this video. This is the Dragon Shire description, the layout. We're going to go over the map from the top down perspective, and then of course there's part 2, which is the gameplay. So yeah, I did have to go back and re-edit this, redo it all. So apologies for that. It took a little delay to get things fixed, but the gameplay is separate. I put that up before this, I think, and then I'm going to add this up now, and then we're done. Black Hearts is up as well, so we should have all 5 maps. We get a couple hero guides out, and then do some more in-depth look at some strategy and things. As always, if there's something specific you want, let me know. I'm happy to do it. I'm probably going to get an Azmodan guide up here pretty soon. I've got a good build for him. I just don't actually own him at this point, so I can't actually show him off in a live game like I like to do with a lot of the guides. But anyways, on to bigger and brighter things. We're on Dragon Shire. That's right, the lush and deceptively peaceful gardens of Dragon Shire have grown up over time. Grown up. What am I talking about? This isn't a fairy tale. They have the gardens have grown over time, covering the once molten realm known as Dragon Shire. Beneath this verdant paradise, the ancient power of the dragons was sealed away, and their descendants have neither forgotten nor forgiven the trespasses of those who have wronged them. Well, sounds like somebody's out for some sweet, sweet revenge. It's a dish best served cold, as we all know. And so, yes, you want to control the shrines, free the Dragon Knight, and destroy enemy fortifications. That's right. Let's go ahead and actually look at the map itself. Get off of this doodad right there. Here you go. It's Dragon Shire. It's a 3-lane map. Of course, spawn on the right for the red team, blue team on the left. You can see these 2 dots on the top and the bottom. The orange ones, the legendaries. Those are the 2 shrines, and this is the Dragon Throne, like where the Dragon Knight is activated here. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go over the basics of the map, and then we'll talk about the objectives, which are specific to this map. As I said, it's 3 lanes. Important note: there is this choke point in the top lane coming out here on both sides. There is a whoa. That's a ways. I zoomed out a lot. All right, there's a choke point on both sides on those bridges coming out the gate. Otherwise, it's pretty standard out of the tier 2s here. You've got your keeps. As always, with the 3 towers, the 1 in front, and then 2 on the wall with the gate here, and then the walls themselves right there. And, of course, a fountain. Oh, my gosh, I've got to stop scrolling out so fast. There's, of course, a fountain in each lane. So those are your tier 2s. You come out a little bit to your tier 1 fortifications here. You've got your fort, 3 towers. It's all the same, right? Yada, yada, yada. This looks like every other map we see. That's every other 3-lane map, right? It is the same tile set as Garden of Terror, so you're going to see the same kind of bushes that you can hide in, for example, right here. There's some good spots to hide. If we look, let's see, how do we want to do this? Let's just think about the merc camps. You've got, obviously, 5 of them. You can see those dots on the map right now. Structures, it just shows the core, I guess, is the only thing that highlights with that. But you can see there's an easy camp here, and there's an easy camp here. So there's 2 easy camps on the bottom. These will push the bottom lane. And then there's a neutral siege giant camp in the bottom center of the map below the bottom shrine here. This is kind of referred to as the neutral giants, the neutral camp, because it's not really owned. It's not like on one side of the map or the other. It's directly in the middle, and there's a lot of fighting that goes over this. A lot of times, especially in competitive, organized play, you're going to see 3 heroes bottom lane. Really trying to push the enemy lane back to keep, both to prevent this camp from going to the opponents and to capture it yourselves. And also, the shrine is here. This shrine that we're going to talk about in a minute. And so that's important as well. Bottom lane, very strong on this map. On the top side of the map, above mid lane, you've got 2 hard camps. One on either side, of course. You can see them here. Kind of walled in. Kind of fairly well protected. More so than, say, the Garden of Terror hard camp. And they will actually go and push the top lane. So they'll walk up here and then either go down the bridge or they'll turn left and go down the freeway here into the middle of the map. And so those are the 5 camps. 2 hard camps, 3 easy camps. And you can see there's little nooks and crannies in here. You can get it all out. Make sure you floss your teeth and get all those hard to reach places, right? Because there's quite a few of those on this map, and there's some hiding spots here I'm trying to highlight. There's a little bushes right there, and of course here, there as well, and then right inside where the shrines are. And if we actually take a look at the shrines, it's really important to notice this is the shrine. This is where you have to stand inside the gold circle to activate it. But down here is an area you can get body blocked quite easily. If there's a hero on both sides of you, you can actually get stuck down there and body blocked into your demise. You can be body blocked inside these little crannies over here as well, and these, of course. And then if you look at the top shrine, it's the same deal. Underneath the shrine is a dangerous spot to be if you're outnumbered. You can easily get body blocks, or you can get hooked in there by stitches, possibly. So that's always something to keep an eye out for as a new player specifically. And then, of course, there's some bushes to hide there. And so that's the basics of the map. We talked about the 5 murky camps. We talked about 3 lanes, the little areas, you know, the danger zones you don't want to be in. You don't want to get body blocked. And that's the basic layout. Now let's talk about the actual objectives. So we'll turn off everything else and just turn the legendaries on. We've looked at the shrines. There's one in the top lane, one in the bottom lane. Now what's going to happen is 45 seconds into a match, you're going to get a 30-second warning. It's going to say, oh, the shrines are awakening, you know, and you'll have a countdown on the right side of your screen, 30 seconds till they activate. They'll activate it a minute and 15 seconds in. That's the first time the shrines activate. So that's, they'll both, all of a sudden, like, these will kind of just be dormant, like a dormant volcano, right? And then all of a sudden, oh, they'll light up, and it's like tick-tock, you know, you can see, like, some action. You can actually go in, and then you can cap it at a minute and 15 in. And the idea is if you cap both of these shrines, the bottom lane and the top lane shrine, if you have them both capped on your side, they'll stay activated, and then they will channel this statue in the middle of the map. You'll actually see streams coming towards this from both sides, kind of like Ghostbusters. And don't cross the streams, because you will get one wicked ass Dragon Knight. You know, what'll happen is once you have both shrines, you can then stand here on this portal, right click on this statue, and it'll take about 3 seconds to channel the Dragon Knight. And then you will show it off in the game actually really well. You get this huge monstrosity, kind of like the Garden of Terror, the Terror on that. It's the same idea, except you don't have to collect seeds. In this case, you're just controlling 2 shrines at once. You channel this, you pick up the Dragon Knight suit, and then you go and you beat down the enemy fortifications. And its damage to structures is doubled. Its damage received from structures is halved. And it also has a couple special abilities like a flame breath, where you can breathe fire, do some damage, and damage over time. And you have the savage charge, which actually will knock back enemy heroes. It kind of like boots them, like you're kicking a football, you know, like you're going for the punt. And so also it's important to note, you don't want to hit R with the Dragon Knight most times, because R, the same hotkey as your heroic, will actually lose. The same as with the Terror, it'll actually abandon the suit. So whatever you do, don't do that unless you're intentionally trying to get rid of the Dragon Knight or the Garden Terror, because R will actually get you out of that. And some people don't know that, might do it by mistake. You don't see that a whole lot, really. Just important to note that. And so yeah, you'll channel it. It's, I believe, it's either 70 or 75 second timer once you've picked up the Dragon Knight. It has a health bar, it has the timer, and of course, remember, you know, it can fall very easily. So it's not invincible. Don't just go charging into the enemy base on your own, YOLO solo Bilbo Swaggins McBaggins or whatever, because you're not going to make it. You're going to get focused down by the enemy team and the towers. So we'll talk about strategy a little bit in a future video, but you want to play a little bit safe with it. You do a ton of damage to structures, and it's really good, especially the first one. You usually get down like the towers and the gate, and later in the game it of course scales, the Dragon Knight does. So you know, you're going to be able to knock down forts and keeps and the core, and it's a really important thing. You know, at the least, you don't want to let the enemy team have one. You don't always need to get the Dragon Knight to win or to do well in the match, but you definitely don't want to let the enemy team just have one for free. And so that's the Dragon Knight. And of course, once the Dragon Knight is, you know, finished, it loses its health pool, or the timer runs out. Whichever happens first, there is then a 90-second timer until the shrines reactivate. And, well, I mean, I'm sorry, until there's a warning. There'll be a 30-second warning again. So it's 2 full minutes until the shrines reactivate again, and you can fight over another Dragon Knight. So 45 seconds in, you'll get your first 30-second warning. And then after the Dragon Knight is capped, you know, he's picked up, you've got the suit, and then defeated, either the time runs out or the health pool goes down, there's a 90-second timer until the 30-second warning. And then at the 2 minutes following the demise of the first Dragon Knight, you'll get your second one, and every subsequent Dragon Knight. I keep wanting to call it a Demon Knight. Every subsequent Dragon Knight will then be 2 minutes from the previous one. And of course, remember, they get stronger as time goes on. And that's the basics of the map, so go ahead and check out the gameplay. We fool around with some bots and knock some structures down. And then, of course, as I said, we're going to go to the advanced stage with all of these maps, all 5 of them. We're going to go ahead and get into some actual, like, real strategy that is actually useful. These 5 videos really have just, or 10 videos, have just been kind of there to brand new players that wanted to get their feet wet. And, we had questions about how the maps work. Maybe there was some little trivia, like the timers. You didn't know exactly what the timers were. So that's what this is for. And now we'll actually go and look and say, okay, how do we lane on each of these maps? What's the best idea here? Do we want to, put 3 in this lane, or is it a 2-1-2 lane, like 2 top, 1 mid, 2 bottom? Like, I'll cover that. I'm going to talk about good times to take market camps, different strategies for how to get the objectives and how to win. And so that's going to be the advanced kind of tutorial. And then after we do maybe 1 or 2 of those for each map, depending on how things go, how much content I can get for that, then we'll actually look like an expert. We'll actually go and say, okay, let's really look at this team beat that team with this strategy. Why did that work? Would this work for you? So we'll actually really get even higher level with it. So we want to build it up gradually, starting with the basics, and that's what these first 5-10 videos were for. And now we're going to go ahead and get to the next level with the next ones. I'll probably get 1 or 2 of those out maybe this week, but then definitely in the coming weeks and into December we'll get into the advanced series. And of course bringing those hero guides back out as well. So, let me know what you think. If you like it, share it with your friends. Go ahead and subscribe for more content. And, always, like I always say it, if there's something specific you want, I'm happy to get it. Like I said, always, I'm doing this for you guys, so I hope it helps. All right, thanks for watching. Win, and I'm out.